Have you ever wondered why a small percentage of people rise to the top financially while everyone else stays stuck at the same income, the same routine, the same financial frustrations year after year? Why is it that two people with the same job, the same background, even the same opportunities end up with completely different financial lives? Today, I want to reveal something that most people never hear, something that wealthy individuals know and apply every single day, often without even realizing how powerful it is. There is one daily habit, just one, that separates the rich from everyone else, and once you understand it, once you implement it, once you live it every single day, your financial life will never be the same again. It's not a trick, it's not a secret hack, it's not luck, and it's not talent. It's a discipline, a mindset, a practice, something so simple that most people underestimate it, skip it, or ignore it entirely. But the wealthy treat it as non-negotiable because they know that this one habit is the foundation of financial growth, the engine of opportunity, the spark of long-term wealth. And if you've ever felt stuck, if you felt like you're working hard but not moving forward, like your potential is trapped behind invisible walls, this habit is exactly the key you've been missing. The daily habit that separates the rich from everyone else is very simple. The rich reflect before they act every day, without fail. They take time, real intentional time to think, to analyze, to plan, to question, to evaluate, to look at their decisions from a long-term perspective. While most people wake up and instantly enter reaction mode, scrolling, rushing, worrying, responding, the wealthy begin their day in reflection mode. They pause, they think about where they're going, they think about what matters, they evaluate what they're doing, they make decisions with clarity instead of emotion. They look at their money through the lens of strategy, not impulse. This habit may sound small, but it is the difference between drifting through life and designing your life, and wealthy people design theirs on purpose. Most people make daily decisions based on how they feel in the moment, tired, stressed, overwhelmed, bored, impulsive. Their emotions control their choices, but rich people disconnect their emotions from their financial actions. They let clarity guide them instead of impulse. And that clarity comes from this daily reflection habit. It's not journaling for hours or meditating on a mountain. It's simply taking a few minutes every single day to reflect on money, choices, habits, goals, opportunities, and direction. Those few minutes create a mental gap between emotion and action, and inside that gap, wealth is built. Let me show you why this daily habit is so powerful. Most people don't realize that their financial life is made of small decisions that repeat day after day. Small purchases, small distractions, small delays, small excuses, small missed opportunities, small habits that don't look harmful in the moment but compound over months and years until suddenly they look around and realize nothing has changed. Their life looks exactly the same because their decisions have been the same. Wealthy people interrupt this pattern with daily reflection. They ask themselves, what am I doing that is helping me grow? What am I doing that is holding me back? What opportunities am I ignoring? What habits are costing me money? What decisions am I avoiding? What can I do today that my future self will thank me for? This constant questioning keeps them aligned with growth. It keeps them aware. It keeps them intentional. And that intention becomes wealth over time. When poor or middle-class people think about money, they usually do it only when they're stressed. When the bills come, when the account is low, when something goes wrong, that means their thoughts about money are reactive, emotional, and often driven by fear. But the rich think about money calmly, daily, strategically. They reflect when things are going well. They reflect when things are stable. They reflect before the problems arise. That's why they stay ahead. That's why they avoid financial disasters. That's why they see opportunities others never notice. It's not that they're luckier. It's that they're more aware because they train their mind to be aware every day. Another reason this daily reflection habit separates the rich from the rest is that it builds discipline automatically. You cannot reflect daily and stay the same. You cannot look at your choices consciously and keep making bad ones. Your brain begins to hold you accountable. You start noticing the habits that drain your money. You start noticing the time you waste. You start noticing when you're being impulsive. You start noticing when you're avoiding difficult but necessary actions. Reflection turns on a part of your brain that makes you take your life seriously. And when your life becomes intentional, your wealth starts growing almost automatically. Think of most people's days. They wake up, they rush out the door, they work, they come home exhausted, they distract themselves, they sleep, and they repeat. There is no moment of awareness, no time to ask, is this the life I want? No time to ask, are my actions aligned with my goals? No time to ask, what can I adjust, improve, or change? And because there is no reflection, there is no correction. Because there is no correction, there is no growth. Because there is no growth, there is no wealth. Wealthy people live the exact opposite way. They correct themselves every day, even in tiny ways. One small improvement today, another tomorrow, another next week, and suddenly, a year later, their results look dramatically different. Not because they worked harder than everyone else, but because they were more aware than everyone else. Awareness is a superpower, and the daily habit that builds awareness is reflection. But there's something even deeper that this habit unlocks. It breaks emotional spending. Most people spend money to feel good, to escape stress, to reward themselves, to distract themselves, to cope with life. Emotional spending is one of the biggest reasons people stay broke. But when you reflect daily, your emotional spending collapses. You catch yourself before you do damage. You notice when you're buying something because you want relief, not because you need it. You notice when you're trying to buy happiness instead of building it. You notice when you're justifying purchases that don't serve your future. This awareness leads to better choices, better habits, better financial control, and ultimately more wealth. This daily habit also reveals opportunities. Opportunities don't show up loudly. They show up quietly, subtly, softly. They show up as ideas, conversations, small chances, tiny openings, moments that most people are too distracted to see. But when you reflect daily, your mind becomes sharper. Your eyes open wider. Your awareness increases. Suddenly, you notice something that could save you money. You notice a skill you should learn. You notice someone you should connect with. You notice a small investment you can make. You notice a pattern you can break. Wealth is built from these small opportunities, not from giant dramatic events. And the only people who consistently catch these opportunities are the people who think daily, reflect daily, evaluate daily. Now, let's go deeper into why most people never adopt this habit. Most people avoid reflection because it forces them to confront their truth. Reflection forces you to face your financial mistakes. It forces you to admit when you're procrastinating. It forces you to acknowledge when you're living below your potential. It forces you to see the habits you've been ignoring. And that's uncomfortable. So people avoid thinking. They avoid self-assessment. They distract themselves with entertainment. They block out the discomfort of self-awareness. But here's the truth. Discomfort is the price of growth. You cannot become wealthy with the same mind that created your struggles. The wealthy know this. That's why they reflect daily. They want to face the truth before the truth becomes a consequence. Another reason reflection is so powerful is that it aligns your actions with your identity. Every day, when you reflect on your goals, your choices, your habits, and your direction, you reinforce the identity of someone who is responsible, aware, disciplined, and intentional. And over time, this identity becomes permanent. You begin to see yourself as someone who builds wealth, someone who makes smart decisions, someone who takes control of their life, someone who values their future. And once your identity changes, your actions follow effortlessly. Reflection is also one of the main habits that strengthen long-term thinking. One of the biggest differences between the rich and the poor is time perspective. Poor people think in days and weeks. The middle class think in months. The wealthy think in years and decades. Daily reflection stretches your vision. You start asking questions like, where do I want to be a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now? You begin acting today in a way that benefits your future instead of only satisfying your present. And that long-term perspective is the birthplace of wealth. So how do you apply this daily habit starting today? It's simple. Start your morning or end your night with 5 minutes of reflection. Ask yourself, what did I do today that helped my future? What did I do that hurt my future? What did I avoid doing that I should have done? What small improvement can I make tomorrow? What is one financial decision I want to get right today? It doesn't matter if you write it down or think it silently. What matters is consistency. The repetition rewires your brain. The repetition makes you aware. The repetition makes you disciplined, and discipline, over time, creates wealth. Because here's the truth. You don't get rich by accident. You get rich by alignment, aligned decisions, aligned habits, aligned mindset, aligned identity. And alignment is created through daily reflection. This is why the rich treat this habit as non-negotiable. This is why they stay ahead. This is why they avoid financial disasters. This is why they grow steadily over time. They live intentionally, not accidentally. You can start today. You don't need money. You don't need luck. You don't need special skills. All you need is awareness. All you need is 5 minutes of focusing your mind. 5 minutes that can completely change the direction of your life. Because if you can change how you think daily, you can change how you act daily. And if you can change how you act daily, you can change your financial future permanently. So remember, this one habit, daily reflection, is the separator. It's the divider. It's the filter that distinguishes those who rise financially from those who stay stuck. If this message hit you hard, if it opened your eyes, if it made you realize what's been missing, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and comment below one thing you will start reflecting on every day starting tonight. Wealth isn't built in big moments. It's built in small moments repeated daily. And your journey begins right now with one new habit, one new intention, one new level of awareness. Start reflecting today and watch your entire financial life change.